Hello, this is Patrick W. Crawford, Moo-Ack Productions, and this is an update to the MCprep add-on, now with cycle support. So, the MCprep add-on, for those of you who don't know, is a Blender add-on for increasing your workflow of creating Minecraft animations, specifically for preparing world exports from Minecraft itself, imported into Blender to improve it in various ways, such as improving the textures and materials from the default ones, as well as swapping in extra more complicated or advanced meshes or rigs, such as particle systems, torches, blah, 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 blah. All right. Now to demo the actual improvements. So I'm going to open up this file here. It's a little example. So here, this is a fresh import from JMC to OBJ. Note, I also have the button for Mineways, but JMC to OBJ is the main one that I have, or that's what I use for this export. So if I go into rendered view, it looks kind of what you would expect. Note that I already have pre-upscaled the textures, but it still has things like bad interpolation modes. If you go over here, a bit slow, you notice it has like interpolation, which you typically want to turn off, and bitmapping off, things like that. But the main thing, and this is what most people will realize if you switch into cycles and then go into rendered view, the materials just don't work at all. So with a click of a button, I will press this, and then all of a sudden the materials are all nice and working. They're great. It's beautiful. So what the add-on did is it created all of the material nodes for each of these materials specifically. To add a little bit of light, I'm actually going to, so you can see things, add that to there and add that to there. Just adding an environment texture. So you can see that it works fine. And it does things like knows what should be emitting light and what shouldn't be emitting light. So for example, this guy here is emitting light, as you can see, onto the torch here. It does handle transparency correctly. So you notice how, for example, these are 2D planes, but when you go into rendered view without any artifacts, you do see that it looks like it's a solid object, even though it's not really. In the same way that Minecraft in the game does it. In addition to that, things like glass or iron bars, as are down here, are set up to have reflections automatically. So you can see very clearly that it's reflecting this object, which I have a missing texture on, in pink, as it displays in cycles. You can see it being reflected in the iron bars down here as well as on the glass up here. So it all works. In addition to that, there's been some big updates to the MCprep add-on mesh swapping capability. That's done a little bit in the back end. But one thing you'll note is, for example, well, firstly, it still works. So if I press that, it's imported all these objects for me. So it's, instead of having just a cube, you have this 3D modeled mesh here. But again, those materials were set up for Blender internal. So when I go into render mode here, oh no, it doesn't look like the same normal materials. But it's pretty easy. You can just run the material preparation again on all the meshes. So note, for example, that if I were to do this now, press it, I've selected everything, then go into rendered view. Yes, this object here looks fine, but then the torches still don't. That is because torches are a group. So as you can see, there's animation here. I'm just playing out. There's a particle system part of this group as well as a lamp in there. But I haven't changed the group or the lamp settings on here. So what I have to do is, as you can see here, there's an append layer for when you're not linking the groups to the external blend file. But basically, all it means is go into this last layer. You see that these objects are all have been added here. So if I can press A to select everything and then mesh, or not mesh swap, but prep those materials, then go back into here, you'll see that everything looks as it should, which is fabulous. And I can do the reverse, of course. So I can go back into Blender render. If I were to render now, it basically wouldn't work because all the material nodes are not set up for Blender internals render. But if I select both layers, select everything again, and press mesh swap again, it auto recognizes which rendering platform is active. And once again, it is fixed for this particular render engine. Yay, that is awesome. So that's the quick update for the MCprep add-on. There's going to be more of a release trailer in the coming week or two. And then I'm going to basically be continuing to add more models, things that aren't already mesh swapped. So like right now it does, do lamps and torches and things, but there's a few other things it doesn't do. There's still a couple glitches here and there, so you'll notice if I hide this object, it mistakenly placed extra objects in here. So that's a bug in the current release, but that's something that hopefully will be solved soon. So here's the link to where you can download it. It's set up slightly differently this time. It's now an official release. So after you go to here, click on here or up here to release, and then download the MCprep add-on version 2 or whatever may be most recent in the future. So after you download that zip folder file, then go into Blender, File, User Preferences, go to Add-ons, one of the tabs up here, and then, I'll clear that out for a moment, install from file. So go here to the .zip, you want to install the .zip, install from file, and then make sure that even if it doesn't show up here, you type MCprep, search for it, click the little tick box here, because if you don't do that, it will not show up, and then you know it works because it'll be here. So the preferences show up and the panel shows up here. So then you want to save your user preferences so that it shows up next time. I think you can either do it there or just use the shortcut key so you don't have that window. Boom. So now it's there. That's the quick update. Go check it out. Here's the link again, and definitely try it out. I want as many people as possible to download this add-on, try it out on both JMC to OBJ world imports as well as MineWave imports, so that way I know it works for everyone. If there's issues, email or message me so that I can fix them so that it works for other people. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much, and until next time, Moo-Ack.